crafters, welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and so happy that you're with us today on Technique Tuesday. We have a fantastic technique. We call it background masking because it allows us to mask certain areas of our base card while we use our blends to create this beautiful background. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Now, the stamp set that we're going to use to do this beautiful masking is Decorated with Happiness. And the reason we selected this is that it has dies that create a background for you. And that's what we need to do when we're using our blends. Now, the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you have good quality cardstock. When you're blending, if you choose a cheap paper, it really is difficult to get that beautiful blend. So make sure that you have a high quality cardstock so that you can do your blend right on the base card. Now let me show you how we're going to do that. We are taking the dies from this kit, and because we don't have any masking paper, we are using the Post-it removable labeling tape. Now, you can get this on Amazon. Just check below this video and we have it listed in our favorites. And the way we do this is we tear off a strip. We bring in our plates for our embossing machine. And I just lay this right down on our plate. And then I lay down my image right here. Now I'm going to lay some other tape down and I'm going to run this through the machine. And when I do that, this is what you will get. You're going to get this beautiful image cut out. So now we can go ahead and decide exactly how we're going to design our card. This is the fun part. So I know that I want my sentiment right up top. So I'm going to put this about center, and we're just going to lay it down. And it sticks so nicely, and after you blend, you just peel it off. So now we're going to bring in our ornaments, and this is such a pretty stamp set. We're just going to lay that ornament right here, and we're going to bring this one about right here. Now, make sure everything is really stuck down to the base card. We're going to bring in some paper, and now we're going to start our blending. And you know, picking your colors is so important. We stayed in the family of purples because that's what I wanted to do, because that's my favorite color. So we're going to use Rich Razzleberry, and at the top we're going to use Highland Heather because it's a much lighter purple. But let's go ahead and start with our Rich Razzleberry. Now, I want to remind you, when you pick up this Rich Razzleberry, you want to make sure and tap it off on your paper, because you can't take away the color, but you can add to it. And so you really want to make sure that you start off light, and we just go in. And when you use nice paper, it blends so nicely. And we're just going to very lightly keep going over our area. Now we are going to go back in and make the corners much darker. But for now, let's just pick up this other side. And when you have nice paper, it just, like I said, glides over the paper. You want to keep it light. The pressure needs to be light. And the way to do that, a tip is keep your index finger off the base of your blending tool. Otherwise, you will have a lot of pressure, and you don't want that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my color up right here. And now I'm going to go back on the sides to bring in that definition. So you can be a little darker on here, add a little more pressure. because we're just creating a shadow along the edges. Okay, and see how we've gone much lighter on the inside? If you want to, you can go over it just a little bit, but I like it that it's almost highlighted. It's almost as if the sun is shining in, right? So now we're going to go ahead and I want to stamp my message so that I can blend around it. So let's bring in our stamping tool. We're just going to line it up right here on the edge. Get our magnets on there. And now I'm going to line up our sentiment exactly where we want it. And I'm going to use Memento Black. Tap, tap, tap. Perfect. And now I can see exactly where I want to blend. So I'm going to bring in my paper again. I'm going into the lighter color. I'm going to use Highland Heather. Now, if you don't have a scrubber pad and you're doing a lot of blending, you really need to do that. We will post this below our video so you can pick this up because this allows you to use it for other colors but really scrub that color out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our Highland Heather and just tap on the side. And now I'm going to go blend. I'm going to blend very lightly. And that is really key. You know, you can always add more, but you can't take it off. And now we're going to come in a little darker on the sides. Okay, now the fun part begins. We are going to remove our masking tape so that we can stamp right on top of the card. So let me get a new piece of paper. I'm going to peel off the branch. Now you want to make sure and keep this in case you need to stamp. Again, you might need to mask this off. So just put this to the side. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get the rest of the images, the masking off. Look at that. Now the magic begins because we get to start stamping inside these areas and really create a beautiful background. We are going to bring in our Blackberry Bliss and we are going to stamp our ornaments. Look how pretty that looks. Now this stamp set comes with a 2-stamp process. It's different than what you would normally think, but we are going to use Gorgeous Grape and we are going to use the background that they give you for these stamps. Very cute. It just kind of looks like a watercolor almost. Just stamps over it like that. Now we're going to bring in our old olive and our shaded spruce for this two-step process on this branch right here. First, we're going to do the old olive background. Make sure you stay with us because I have 2 other cards to show you that I know you're going to like. And now we're going to come in with our darker color to add the definition. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. We love two-stamp processes. Now look at that. We have this beautiful blended background. Now, you wouldn't be able to do that if you hadn't masked this off because you wouldn't have the white part of your images, and that really sets it apart. But let's go ahead and add the inside of our card. Now, we've decided to double mat it. And we are just going to add a little bit of a branch right here. And this time we'll just kind of stamp it just like that. Now bring in our spruce, our shaded spruce. And now let's add one ornament just to add some interest. We're going to bring the inside with our gorgeous grape. And now let's just add that to the inside of our card. Now look at this. That background really makes your images pop. You really only need to buy the bundle of a stamp set so that you have the dies to cut out your images and ink paper, right? And you have a beautiful card. Now remember I said I was going to show you 2 other cards. Look at this one. We used Christmas season for this card. And we stamped those beautiful 2-step process pine cones. We blended again with the Bermuda Bay. We even brought in some Cajun craze to go over the mint macaroon. And then we stamped our image. Now another tip is when you're stamping your image, highlight it just very lightly with one of your ink pads, and it just really gives it that definition. And finally, we created this beautiful card with those big leaves for Christmas, and we used the Leaves of Holly stamp set. Now look at that. Oh my goodness, these colors, Christmas colors, really blend everything so nicely together. And these leaves are also a 2-step process. And then we added our leaves again with our berries on the inside. Well, we hope you enjoyed our Technique Tuesday background masking. Really brings interest to your card. Please let us know your thoughts below this video. We love to read each and every one of them. We want you to go out and have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.